A world on fire. The year was 2091, and Earth was dying, not from asteroids or alien invasions, but from itself. Smoke rose in plumes across continents. The South Asian borderlines pulsed red with nuclear tension. In North Africa, entire cities vanished beneath dust storms and drone strikes. Coastal refugees by the millions fled rising seas and warring gangs. Everywhere, nations fractured, alliances broke, and warlords flourished. Captain Eliana Rivers wiped blood from her brow as she crouched behind a concrete barrier in the crumbling outskirts of Bucharest. Her unit, UN Peace Corps Alpha 7, had been ambushed 2 hours ago. Now, only she remained. Civilians screamed in the distance, caught in the crossfire between secessionist militias and what's left of the Romanian Guard. The world was unraveling faster than anyone could stitch it back together. She clutched her rifle tighter and exhaled. "This isn't peacekeeping anymore," she whispered. Above her, the sky darkened, not from storm clouds, but from something far more unnatural. It started with a hum, subsonic, deep, ancient. The kind of sound you didn't hear so much as feel in your bones. Then came the light. A golden beam shot from the upper atmosphere, illuminating the city like dawn, though the sun had not yet risen. Eliana stood, transfixed, as a colossal shadow slid overhead. A massive ship, circular and impossibly silent, blotted out the stars. It wasn't a missile or drone. It was a vessel, alien unmistakably. That it wasn't just one. In Tokyo, New York, Lagos, Sao Paulo, Moscow, every major city on Earth, dozens of similar ships emerged from clouds, warping space itself. Militaries scrambled jets, launched interceptors, fired every weapon they had. But no missile struck true. No aircraft came close. Every weapon system on Earth simply died. Nuclear warheads deactivated. Satellites went dark. Even handguns clicked uselessly. Then the message came. A radiant being, 10 feet tall, cloaked in flowing blue energy, appeared simultaneously in every language, on every screen, in every mind. Genderless and serene, it spoke with calm finality. "We are the Galactic Guardians. We come not as conquerors, but as stewards. Your species stands at the brink of extinction by your own hand. We have halted your violence, not to enslave, but to preserve. You are not alone in this universe, but you're the first to reach the edge of oblivion so defiantly. We will not let you fall. You will be healed. You will learn peace. You will not be given a choice." And just like that, the wars stopped. Eliana fell to her knees, staring at the silent battlefield before her. Soldiers dropped weapons, stunned by the sudden stillness. The machines of war lay inert. The skies above shimmered with unearthly brilliance. For the first time in decades, Earth fell silent. But beneath that silence lurked a deeper question, one no alien voice had answered. What would peace look like when it was no longer in human hands? The peacekeepers above. 3 months after the arrival of the Galactic Guardians, the face of Earth had changed. The monoliths arrived first, towering obsidian spires descending from orbit into conflict zones. They pulsed with calming energy, neutralizing aggression in miles-wide radii. Cities that once echoed with gunfire now fell into an eerie, enforced peace. In the skies, Guardian ships remained motionless, silent watchers. In fields and deserts, alien drones buzzed over crops, accelerating growth. Disease and famine began to vanish as nanite clouds filtered toxins from water and air. Climate systems cooled. Sea levels stabilized. Even the ozone healed. And yet, peace bred tension. Captain Eliana Rivers stood outside one of the monoliths in northern Kenya, watching as a Guardian drone stitched a refugee's shattered leg back together with blue light. Children laughed nearby, playing under the alien structures as if they had always been there. But Eliana couldn't laugh. Not yet. Inside the monolith, she met Seraphim, the being who had first broadcast the message to Earth. It wasn't a hologram. It stood before her, tall, glowing, humanoid only in outline. It had no eyes, but she felt its gaze. "You are adapting. it said, its voice like music underwater. Or complying, she replied. What you're doing, it works. But it's control. Peace without choice is just silence. Seraphim tilted its head. We know. We imposed peace because you were incapable of choosing it. But choice will come. Earth must first survive. Eliana had been chosen as a peace liaison, one of 50 humans trained by the Guardians to mediate between alien enforcement and human culture. It was an honor and a burden. Back in her quarters, she reviewed the global reports. Violence had dropped 99%. Governments remained, but now operated under Guardian oversight. Elections continued, but propaganda was filtered. No leader could incite war without being instantly silenced by energy fields. Resistance cells had emerged, small groups who believed humanity's soul was being erased. They called themselves Sovereign Earth. In Paris, Sovereign Earth hacked a Guardian broadcast, replacing it with an image of a masked figure shouting, "Freedom is not alien mercy. Humanity must stand or fall by its own will." The hack lasted 4 seconds. Within 10, Guardian drones traced the signal, deactivated the equipment, and memory dampened everyone involved. Eliana watched the report and sighed. They won't stop, she murmured. And maybe they shouldn't. Her Guardian handler, a crystalline being named Nail, floated nearby. The Guardians once lost a world by silencing too long, it said. This time, we will listen sooner. Peace had come, not like rain after drought, but like a dam breaking. Swift, absolute, irreversible. But beneath the quiet skies, humanity began to whisper again. Not in anger, not in fear, in doubt. Was peace given or stolen? And what would they do when the Guardians left? The last war. They called it the Kilimanjaro Incident. On a clear morning, a Guardian terraforming node stationed near Mount Kilimanjaro erupted in a blinding pulse. The energy cascade turned 100 square kilometers into molten glass. No casualties, but the message was clear. Sovereign Earth had struck back. Eliana Rivers stared at the satellite feed, disbelief tightening her jaw. The Guardian monoliths had been thought untouchable. But Sovereign Earth had repurposed one of Earth's own orbital maintenance craft, hijacked Guardian code, and overloaded the structure from within. It was the first successful act of violence in 100 days. Emergency councils convened. World leaders demanded retribution. But the Guardians issued a simple directive. No blood will be spilled. This rebellion is yours to answer, said Seraphim. We will not silence your species again. Prove peace is a choice, not just an imposition. Eliana, now Earth's chief peace liaison, was tasked with leading the response. Not as a soldier, but as a symbol. She flew into the heart of the Kenyan highlands, where Sovereign Earth's base had been traced. Her team, engineers, psychologists, non-lethal operatives, carried Guardian tools, sonic disarmers, emotion dampeners, and pulse nets. No bullets, no bombs. She entered the bunker alone. The man waiting inside was old-school military. Broad shoulders, cybernetic implants, steely eyes. General Moreau, the architect of the rebellion. You came without weapons, he said, amused. I could kill you right now. You won't, Eliana replied. Because even you don't want to be the first human to kill again under a peaceful sky. Moreau chuckled. You call this peace? Look around. We're lab rats in an alien maze. Our freedom's been sterilized. You think war is freedom? She shot back. You'd trade starving children and burning cities for the illusion of control. He stood. I'd trade comfort for dignity. Humanity didn't crawl out of the mud to be caged like pets. Eliana looked him in the eye. We didn't crawl out of the mud alone. We've always had help. Teachers, neighbors, now aliens. If survival offends your pride, maybe it's not pride worth having. Behind her, Guardian drones shimmered into visibility. Non-lethal response teams standing by. But she raised a hand. Let me finish this. She took off her communicator and placed it on the table. I'm giving you a choice, she said. Stand down. Help rebuild. Or go down in history as the man who tried to restart hell after we finally escaped it. There was a long pause. Then Moreau slumped into his chair. You think this is over? No, she said softly. I think it's just beginning. The Sovereign Earth base surrendered without a shot fired. The Kilimanjaro incident became the last violent act recorded on Earth in human history. Not because the Guardians demanded it, but because, for the first time, humans chose peace when war was still an option. Guardians no more. The Guardians began their withdrawal exactly 1 Earth year after the first monolith touched down. There was no grand departure, no speeches, just a quiet fading of presence. The ships rose into orbit, their energy signatures flickering out like distant stars. The monoliths remained, dormant now, their guidance systems transferred to human control. The message was clear. The training wheels are off. Captain Eliana Rivers, now Ambassador Rivers, stood before the United Earth Assembly in Geneva. Flags from every nation fluttered beneath a new banner, a single white arc over a dark blue circle, Earth rising. This moment isn't about what the Guardians gave us, she said to the gathered delegates. It's about what we decide to do with it. The Assembly Hall, once the home of arguments and accusations, now echoed with solemn silence. There were still disagreements, sure. Humans hadn't become angels overnight. But disputes were mediated, not escalated. Climate treaties had teeth. Refugees had homes. Former battlefields now grew food. And for the first time in recorded history, no soldier stood ready to kill. After the Kilimanjaro incident, Sovereign Earth had been peacefully disbanded. General Moreau now served on the Ethics Committee for Autonomous Peacekeeping, a poetic irony Eliana appreciated. He remained skeptical, but he worked for peace anyway. That, she believed, was the real victory. In orbit, the last remaining Guardian vessel, Horizon Keeper, waited for its final liaison meeting. Eliana entered the chamber alone, greeted by Seraphim's soft radiance. "You have succeeded," it said. "No," she replied. "We've started." Seraphim regarded her for a moment, then offered what she interpreted as a smile. "The Coalition invites Earth to enter as a probationary member. You will be watched, not judged. Should you maintain peace for 10 of your solar cycles, you will stand equal among the stars." "We accept," Eliana said, her voice steady. "But on our terms." "Good," Seraphim replied. "The stars do not favor obedience, only growth." The vessel disappeared into the void without fanfare. Back on Earth, change accelerated. Weapons manufacturing became obsolete. Military budgets were redirected into planetary repair and interstellar exploration. Antarctica housed Earth's first joint spaceport. The Sahara bloomed, reborn through alien hybrid terraforming. Mars became a cooperative project, no longer a race, but a symbol. Humans worked side by side, not as rivals, but as stewards. And in Romania, where Eliana had once crawled through rubble, a reforestation site bore her name. She visited often, no longer a soldier, not quite a politician, just a witness to what could be. As she sat beneath the trees, a child ran past, chasing a drone shaped like a butterfly. Peace, she realized, wasn't a final state. It was a practice, a decision made again and again, not enforced by power, but chosen by people. The Guardians had left, but what remained was more powerful than any alien fleet. Hope.